let's jump into A Day with an Extraterrestrial, where Milton, he's the funny guy. He's a funny guy.
About my second book, A Day with an Extraterrestrial. Well, I was in real estate back then, and I usually like to go to the park and walk around and get a little bit of exercise because, when you're in real estate, a lot of what you do is sit around the office. So I'm out there, and this man, he was just, he was humanoid. He looked like a regular person. He decided to make contact with me. Now, we already had contact, but this Milton person didn't let me remember everything. And I certainly didn't remember when he took the human form. It's a long story. I know you want me to explain it, but I don't know.
I would like to talk about the experience in your book, in one of your books, A Day with an Extraterrestrial. You mentioned that one morning while you were jogging, like you do every day before work, a stranger appeared next to you. It was Milton, the aliens. You describe him like a Caucasian and jogging with you. What happened when you got to the park?
The woods, the ship that I saw in the woods, yeah, that was very strange because even though I've always had contact with these people, for some reason, it was a new type of experience, because once you're in human form, you are stuck in the 3D. So when you come up against stuff that's higher vibrations, higher dimensions, it doesn't matter how much experience you've had, you still get freaked out because you're still in your 3D mind. So every time you see a UFO, it's like a new experience. It's like you've seen it again for the first time. Every time you communicate with these strange extraterrestrial beings that can change shape and do just about anything they wish, it's a new experience. And it's almost like you have to learn everything over again.
He takes you inside the ship and you panic because you had to work. But there were no doors or windows. Then Milton tells you that you had to find the exit door. Milton's sense of humor is really something, isn't it?
Yeah, this was like when we were kids and we played with different toys and different gadgets. Yeah, and as you become an adult, the toys and gadgets become a little bit more complicated, a little bit bigger. And so basically, I had to figure things out. And by figuring things out, it opened up more memories of things that I already knew. So, I did a lot of bouncing around inside that ship, but that was part of how aliens or extraterrestrials deal with humans.
So at this moment, I look out the window and see the blue sky, the green of the vegetation, people walking, and car traffic. It's all of this in 3D. But when you are inside the chip, is the frequency change? How does this happen? It's a little complicated.
Well, we see 3D, everything we see, of course, is three-dimensional. Now, when we dream, we get to go to higher dimensions. And, all dreams are actually real places, real situations, but they are in higher dimensions. That's why when we wake up, we can remember little bits and pieces of the dream, but for the most part, it makes no sense. Because when we were there, we were in a different dimension. And when we come back, when we wake up, we're back in 3D. So the way it is.
So you mean that most abductions happen in a 3D physical, but those people, they can just turn in another level, like they gotta go out of space, not in a 3D human body.
Well, when you're in a spaceship, it's a much higher dimension. And that's why, just like in a dream, a lot of people can't remember all of the stuff that happened when they were abducted or when they were having a visit with extraterrestrials. It's the same thing. You know, it's designed that way because they don't want you to remember this stuff. They want you to think, they want you to go out and talk to people, and then people will say, yeah, you're crazy. We don't want to talk to you. We're not going to believe you. So
There's a part in your book, a day with an extraterrestrial, that really impressed me. It is when you describe people in enormous chiefs. Some were wearing pajamas, others were in casual clothes, some were crying, and others appeared like zombies. Were those people dead, or were they being taken to other worlds?
those some of those scenarios were where people were taken to situations that they had experienced in other lives and or future lives. And so they kind of look, a lot of them distraught, confused.
My question is because a lot of people are so scared, low. I call low Baldin low B. Low B is because a lot of people are so scared with death. I don't feel like death has to be so scared. Well, when you do right things, I'm sure it's going to be scared when you do wrong things. Can you explain a little bit what is the difference between, just being the human body and just passing in other levels? Because that's what the global corruption, the elite, the cabal, whatever dark side has been programmed a human to be so scared with life and death. Oh, that's the way that are supposed to be.
Yes, life and death it's pretty much a unique individual thing for everybody because everybody has a different type of life. You know, a lot of people who think they are good find out that they're not all that good once they get to the other side. Some people who think they're bad find out that they're really not all that bad. You see a lot of strange, scary things when you're abducted, when you're asleep, and even when you die. And then, especially when you die, because now you're being told exactly what happened. All these strange and scary things is stuff that it's coming from you. These monsters or whatever. You find out that this is you. This is not something else. This is not exterior. It's not your boss, the mayor, the leader of the universe. It's you. And that's pretty scary when people have to deal with knowing that they are the monster.
Because a lot of people are so confusing, thinking that there's a ghosts and vampires and
Yeah,
and a
a
different
lot
type.
of people are vampires.
Yeah, I know. What do they call imagination or created some type of dream, bad dreams, or
It's called reality.
it's called reality.
We run into these types of realities in everything we do in our everyday life. But a lot of it we don't want to confront, we don't want to admit to it. Because most of us, everybody likes to blame somebody else for whatever is destroying their lives or making their life uncomfortable. It's just so much easier to do that.
Hmm, that's very interesting.